You're listening to Release Your Resistance with Bex Beltran, episode 24. Welcome to Release Your Resistance. This is Bex. The only reason why any of us don't have what we want in life is because of our own resistance. Right now, I'm learning how to recognize and release my resistance, and this podcast tells you how you can release your resistance so that you can live the exact life that you want. Let's get started. The word easy has been popping up for me a lot lately, but not in a consistent way. It seems like I have a love-hate relationship with it. That's too strong. A want-don't want relationship. No, that's not right either. You know how sometimes a word can be the same word, spelled the same, sound the same, but mean two different things in two different contexts? Like the word beat. If I asked you, what does beat mean? Maybe you think it's what your heart does. Or maybe you think it means to conquer someone in a competition. Or maybe it means to hit someone or something. Or maybe it's a rhythm that you're on. Or it's what you ask the DJ to give you. Or it's what you tell someone to do when you want them to leave. All of these meanings of beat are interconnected and similar, but also obviously have different meanings and connotations and emotions depending on the context. And maybe that's what's going on with me and the word easy. And that's why sometimes I want things to be easy, and it's why I'm attracted to easy, and why sometimes I am very wary of easy, and I want to remember that easy is not what I want at all. So let's talk about easy. The first easy I want to talk about is when I hear myself think, I just wish this was easy. In this case, I'm making easy mean a way to avoid pain and discomfort, to conserve energy, and usually to avoid effort. And right now, you may be right here with me thinking, yeah, of course, let's choose easy. We should wish everything is easy, like starting a business, learning a new skill, making a choice between two good options or two bad options, growing up, losing weight, saving money, being in a relationship, everything, right? Don't we all wish all of those things were just super easy? But then I think, do we really wish that? If all of those things were really super easy, then where is the learning? Where is the problem solving, challenging experience? It's almost as if you told me, I'm bored, I want something good to read, and I hand you a book written for third graders. It may still have an interesting story and interesting characters, but my guess is it wouldn't hold your attention. Why not? Maybe you would finish it too fast. Maybe it wouldn't be interesting or challenging enough for you. Maybe you would be able to predict exactly how everything would turn out in the story. Maybe it wouldn't overcome your boredom, which is the whole reason I was handing you a book in the first place. The analogy here is that when we're bored and want something to read, we're not satisfied by something that's not interesting or challenging enough. We want twists and turns. We want a puzzle or something unknown. And maybe we want a little drama or suspense or a thrill. I think I see this when I watch my dog play, which isn't very often anymore because she's very senior and she's blind and mostly deaf. So when I do see her playing, I stop everything to watch her play and sometimes try to help her out a little because I'm trying to keep her young and playful forever. The whole time I have known my dog, she's always been more interested in challenging than easy. She used to play by herself with her ball for hours, and sometimes she would enlist our help too. She had a game we called Elevator, where she would jump on the bed with the ball, then nudge the ball until it rolled off of the bed, and then she would jump off the bed, retrieve the ball, and get back up on the bed to do it all over again, over and over again. And this just kept on happening. The drama sometimes came when the ball would get stuck between the mattress and the foot of the bed, and she would need to push it or pull it to loosen it, and I swear that was her favorite part, when it got a little more challenging or difficult. And the other day, she was hanging out with me in my office, and I saw that she would nudge the ball away from herself with her nose and then go looking for it, or actually smelling for it, because remember, she's blind. So I was watching her find the ball, then send it away, then go find it again. And as she did, she would walk into a wall or a table leg or have to climb over and navigate around the obstacle course made up of the furniture in my office. And every time she found the ball again, I expected her to sit down and hold it and enjoy it for a minute, but she never did. She always nudged it away again. And I thought, why is she making it so hard on herself? Why doesn't she just sit down and enjoy her ball? So all of these things that I mentioned earlier, starting a business, learning a new skill, making a choice, growing up, losing weight, saving money, being in a relationship, those aren't all the same as just sitting around one afternoon feeling bored and wishing you had a book to read or a ball to play with. But I still feel like when faced with those things at some level, we still do want twists and turns. We want a puzzle or something unknown. And maybe we want a little drama or suspense or a thrill. Maybe because otherwise, those things wouldn't hold our attention. And we would be skipping important lessons and challenges. And we would be bypassing the growth and the development. So how does this show up for me? What I am noticing lately is the mind in me, or my ego, is suggesting a false easy. The mind in me considers what I'm about to do, like in my case, grow my coaching practice or promote this podcast, and I immediately start to get scared and nervous, and immediately the mind in me suggests that there may be an easier way, a shortcut, or even an exit. When I notice I wish something was easier, it means my mind is trying to conserve energy, as if there were a limited supply. I'm on to you, mind. Or maybe it means that my mind is trying to avoid pain or discomfort by wishing for something easy, as if I was owed easiness, as if life shouldn't be uncomfortable at times. It means my mind is opting out of what it thinks will be a painful journey, and what it doesn't acknowledge in its protective, comfortable state is that a painful journey is where I could learn and grow the most. So every time I catch myself thinking, that would be easier, I can evaluate what I'm thinking and why, because most times I won't really want to choose the easier path. And it's likely that it really won't be easier in the long run. It's possible that a shortcut could result in a longer detour later. It might be that if I skip the learning and development and growth now, I will still want it later. So I'll just end up with the pain and discomfort at some point anyhow. And my quest for easy now just prolonged my lack of learning and understanding and growth. Another way to think about this version of easy might be like a form of cheating. I remember once when my sister and I took a bus trip from Germany to Spain, and this was back in the 90s before we had devices and onboard entertainment. So our onboard entertainment was a deck of cards. And on the way home, everyone on the bus was tired and sunburned, maybe hungover, probably bored. So as my sister and I started playing cards, other passengers gathered around us to see how the game would go and to see who would win. And I remember one of the watching passengers kind of nudging me, indicating to me a way I could cheat. And at first I ignored her. And then she kind of non-verbally suggested it again, a little more insistently. And I was like, no, I'm good. And I remember being so puzzled at her suggestion that I might want to cheat, that I might want to win the easy way. I remember thinking, what's the point in that? The whole point of the game is to play, to see what card comes up next, to sit in suspense, not knowing if I have the better hand or not. Why give all that away just to cheat and to win without really winning? And as I was thinking about that reasoning that I had back then during that late night bus ride, probably somewhere just past the border of France, I wonder, why don't I have that same attitude towards my own sweet little mind when it non-verbally nudges me and suggests I could just take the easy way? Why don't I ask myself, what's the point in that? Why would I want to give up this suspense and this experience of seeing what's about to happen? This invitation to find an easy way came up for me as I was setting up my coaching practice. As I privately and publicly declared, I'm a coach, I'm taking on clients, I'm going to help women get what they want in life and get rid of what they don't want by showing them their own resistance and helping them release it, I remember thinking, it might be easier if I am working for someone else while I am building my practice, while I'm growing my client roster. It might be easier to have a part-time job. It might be easier to work for a more established coach rather than marketing to and attracting my own clients. But in reality, when I dig down below the surface of the easy suggestion, that actually feels so much more complicated. That actually feels like it would take so much more energy to split my attention. That actually seems like a distraction and a delay from getting what I really want for myself. Wow, in this case, the easy offers seem to be hiding some of my own resistance. And again, when I was planning how I would roll out my 6-week one-on-one weight loss program, I thought, I could offer a money-back guarantee. That would make it so much easier to sell. But then I started thinking about why I wanted to offer a money-back guarantee. Did I want people to sign up for weight loss coaching because they knew they could ask for their money back? And did I want to figure out how to decide what would be required to be eligible for a refund? And did I want to map out the logistics of giving back the refund if someone didn't meet their goals? All of this started to sound very complicated, not simple, not easy, and not really what I even wanted. I want to work with clients who are all in 100% on their weight loss or in whatever transformation they're looking for by coaching with me, not people who think they might not go through with it and who just ask for their money back. I want to work with clients who are prepared for the discomfort of changing themselves and their thoughts and beliefs in order to lose weight or to get the transformation they want. That means I really don't want to offer any guarantees. The guarantees are not mine to offer. Those have to come from my clients. So then I realized I thought that selling with a money-back guarantee would make it easier to sell, but in fact, I don't want it to be easier. I want the discomfort in this case too. That is why it's a false easy. What I thought would be an easier shortcut could equal something much more complicated to untangle later and could cost me the learning and growth along the way. So what do you think? Have I talked you out of easy yet? Well, stick around. I'm about to talk you right back into it. The other meaning of easy. The second kind of easy is when everything is in perfect alignment. It flows effortlessly. How does this show up for me? I'm not even thinking about it. It just feels like the natural next step. Things just seem to show up or appear to help along the way. Where is the learning in this case? The point is not to learn. It's a knowing without necessarily knowing. And even more clarity comes with hindsight and reflection. Have you ever met someone and just fell into an easy friendship? Have you ever decided you would do something or learn something and everything just fell right into place for you? Have you ever wanted something and the path to it just seemed to naturally unfold in front of you with luck and coincidence and alignment? Or another way things could have been easy is because of our human memories. When I think back to something that may have been difficult, painful, uncomfortable, but looking back, I don't remember all the discomfort, and it really just seems so easy. Maybe some things just seem easy in hindsight. Maybe as I was going through something, it was actually uncomfortable and annoying and scary, but I just kept going and didn't even entertain the possibility that I might not be successful or that it wouldn't work. And now later, with distance and my human memory, I look back and think, wow, that was so easy. Why can't everything be that easy? An example of this is launching this podcast. I know I created resistance and drama for myself last year as I was figuring out how I would launch this by my own self-imposed deadline. And I remember making up very reasonable sounding reasons why I couldn't start recording yet and why I wasn't ready to learn how to edit yet. But once I pushed through my own resistance and got started, I saw how easy it actually was for me. And now, when I reminisce to just 6 months ago, I notice that I've already started to forget the hard, frustrating parts, and it just seems like it was all so easy for me. So there's an example of me forgetting the resistance that I either pushed through or I just released. Another reason why some things are so easy is because we have no resistance to them to start with. Isn't it interesting that most of us probably never intentionally think about what has been easy for us and why? Why don't we study what's been easy for us and then try to reverse engineer it? Have you ever stopped to think, what is the easiest thing I have ever done? For example, I seem to do really well at job interviews, which is ironic because I don't ever intend to have a job ever again in my life. Oh well. I also seem to make friends and connections pretty easily. My marriage seems pretty easy to me and enjoyable. And managing my money is easy for me. What about you? What things in your life are you just innately good at? My guess is, whatever those are, you have no resistance to them whatsoever. Okay, let's switch gears. Have you ever heard the expression, we can do this the hard way or the easy way? Usually, I imagine the person saying this is fictional and probably a villain trying to convince a character to make it easier for the villain. Is this what our brains are doing? Do our brains take on the role of a threatening villain, assuring us that we only have two options? And obviously, we would want to choose the easy way because, of course, that's the way that always takes less effort for the villain too, right? What if our automatic answer to that question was always, the hard way, please, 100% the hard way? What would we learn, experience, realize if we were always 100% committed to doing everything the hard way instead of looking for an easy way out? And is that offer that we can do this the hard way or the easy way also a false dichotomy? Do you know this expression? A dichotomy is a sharp division of ideas into two contradictory parts. So a false dichotomy is an amazing concept, and it means whatever you're talking about is not jointly exhaustive, meaning there may be other alternatives, or it's not mutually exclusive, meaning maybe the alternatives actually overlap, or maybe the answer is neither of those two offered choices. What if there are so many ways to do something, not just the easy way and the hard way? What if there's the experimental way, the growth way, the workout way, the scenic way? Another question this brings up is, can something be easy while not being easy? Meaning, can it feel natural and aligned and unfolding while also creating discomfort and requiring effort and promoting growth? Like a workout, you're working your muscles and your stamina, you're pushing yourself and you're feeling pain and discomfort, but It also feels amazing, and you may want to keep going, and you do keep going back to it over and over again. Or being totally in flow working on a project with lots of problem solving and challenges. Maybe overall the project is flowing along, but part of your work, part of that flow, is solving all the little barriers and obstacles that pop up as you go. So now I've been giving you all these examples and stories and descriptions for the past 20 minutes. What's the point? What am I trying to convince you of or share with you? What am I now realizing for myself? Here it is. When my mind offers me easy as a way for me to escape pain or bypass discomfort or conserve energy, that's because my mind is in scarcity mode and thinks that something is a threat. But when there is no resistance, when I am in abundance and intentionally choosing from love, not from fear, that's when easy is all about flow and alignment and perfect unfolding. That's why I love the mantra, let it be easy. It reminds me I don't have to resist. I don't have to fear. I can just let things be easy. And that's why when I hear myself think, I wish this was easy, I can remember, of course, my mind wants to protect me from pain and conserve energy. And I can use that as a reminder to check if something really is painful and if I am actually more interested in expending the energy so that I can learn and grow. You might recognize this contrast between the two easies when you think of get-rich-quick schemes. That's hard to say. Get-rich-quick schemes. To me, that implies that there is some urgency to get rich because otherwise there's a threat of missing out or not having enough or that you don't have enough now, which is why you need to get rich quick. What if you felt completely abundant and you trusted you would get rich in the exact right amount of time? Or what if you just believed you already were rich? Shouldn't we beware of any get anything quick scheme like get thin quick or get smart quick or get loved quick? Aren't these all just shortcuts or cheats through an experience? Does our attraction to these schemes or offers indicate that we may have resistance around the subject or that we may have thoughts of scarcity? So interesting to think about, right? So what about you? What do you wish was easy for you? And now that you know my theory, what do you think about your reason for wishing it was easy? And what naturally has unfolded for you in your life so easily? And when you think about how it all came to be, do you think it's your human memory forgetting the tough parts? Or do you think it's because you had no resistance to the whole idea in the first place? So much to think about. And that is it for today. I am curious to hear your thoughts and your reactions. So the easiest thing for you to do with no resistance is just to send me an email at hi@bexby.org to let me know what you think. And this week, for all my favorite people, meaning that you're on my email list who get each episode sent to them every Friday, I mailed you an easy breezy card in the actual mail. So if you want to be part of my favorite crowd, just join at bexby.org/favorites so you'll always get the fun extra things I send out to all my favorite people. And next week is the first Friday of June. Can you believe it? So I am super excited to tell you about another one of my favorite teachers. And I am especially excited about this episode because I collaborated with a fun artist in California for the cover art for next week's episode. I can't wait for you to see it. And if you want to see her work before next week, you can check out Kayla's Etsy shop. It's called The Loving Living Shop. Who knows, maybe you'll commission a portrait of yourself or someone you love. Until next week, talk to you then. This has been Release Your Resistance. Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, make sure you're subscribed and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Also, think about someone who you know who would love this episode and share it with them. There should be a share button on your app if you're listening to this on your phone. If you'd like to continue this conversation one-on-one or in real time, come visit me on my site at beckspeed.org to see how we can work together.